you in a minute.
Nice.
I'm already done. This is the worst idea I've ever had, trying to do a thing with Ohio State fan, Bill.
Nice. Is that broccoli? Oh, it's chicken. It's a diesel piece of broccoli. Nice.
All right, welcome back to the channel. We are the Tailgate Boys. I have a special guest today.
Andy Kozak.
It is me. It is me. I am the special guest. No, we have my friend Zach here today. Maybe the only reasonable Ohio State fan I know.
Seth Green.
I hate all of you. Literally all of you. Can't stand you.
Well, that's because you lose.
A lot.
Oh, yeah.
15 out of the last 16.
Oh, it's been that many.
Shut the hell up. It's been that many.
It should have been like
16. I know you don't understand. You don't have to know, but I know.
16 out of 17, but you ducked us last year.
You want to know how many times they've won in my lifetime?
1.
97. National title.
Which I was literally wasn't alive for.
I was.
Yeah.
2011. That's it.
Wow. Yeah. 97. He's like, I gotta get on this now. Gotta get on it early.
When did you become a fan, guy?
Oh, back when Beanie Wells played, which I don't even know when that early 2000s.
That's 05, 04, 05, 06. He dominated in 05 and 06.
I remember watching.
Although 06 was more Troy Smith.
Yeah, I remember watching him kind of have a game against Michigan with Jim Tressel with the little sweater vest. I was like, this dude's sick.
I want to say Tressel's first year was 05. Because then his he didn't win, obviously, but 06 they lost to Florida.
And then this,
pretty sure.
Yeah, I don't know. All that, like, I wasn't really paying attention. I just remember really watching Terrell Pryor and all of them.
Oh, this is a little. You ready to actually do this and stop joking around?
Yeah.
I don't believe you.
Well, we'll find out, I guess.
I guess so. All right, we have a special edition today. I got my buddy Zach. Unfortunately, he's an Ohio State fan, but I don't know much about Ohio State, so that's why you're here, bud. You think you're ready?
Only one way to find out.
So we're talking about the game, the only game, the best rivalry in college football and maybe sports, Michigan-Ohio State, although not very much lately.
Yeah, one-sided. I mean, there's been close games, but
There've been a lot of close games. I even remember Devin Gardner taking it down to the wire when they were 5-7 that year.
That was with their old quarterback as a running back,
Robinson.
Yeah.
But he was a running back at that time because he tore his stuff up. Braxton Miller was the quarterback then.
Before he hurt his arm as well.
What was that game? 52-51? Because they went for 2. 48-47. They went for 2 at the very last play and didn't get it.
It was close.
But you're right. Either way, no matter what the records are, it's always close. Even in 2011, the last win Michigan has had. Even then, Ohio State, is 6-6? Braxton Miller's a freshman. Still goes down to the wire, even though Michigan ended up winning the Sugar Bowl that year.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what, the game's usually close.
I mean, they always have good talent on both sides of the ball, so I'm curious to see how the weather plays out this weekend, too.
We are actually going. We paid a pretty penny.
Yep.
We're going.
Well worth it.
Zach's first Michigan-Ohio State game.
First big college game.
It is a thing to behold. And I will get more video content out for that as well. Billy will be there. I can't wait to capture what you do, man. I can't. It's going to be very interesting. Don't hurt yourself. Can you promise me that, or there's no promises?
No, I won't get hurt. I just might disappear for a little bit.
Yeah, don't let that happen because I don't know where I'm going.
Well, it's a big stadium that can fit 111,000 people, so you can't miss it. But anyway, let's get right into the game. Both teams 10-1. Obviously, both teams, unfortunately, in the Big Ten East of what is the meat grinder of the Big Ten East.
It always happens every year.
Every single year.
When Michigan State's good, it's always end of the year is just them beating up on each other.
I don't even remember the last year a Big Ten West team won.
Had it been a Wisconsin team at some point.
Oh, it's got to be Wisconsin, but I know Iowa's never been there. Well,
Oh, no.
they've been there. Northwestern's been there, but win it, I don't remember.
No, because Iowa's the 1 year Penn State snuck in. Wasn't Iowa like number 3 at the time or something like that, and they lost?
Did they make it? But either way,
I don't think Iowa.
But either way,
know.
Penn State won.
Yeah, it's been a while since it was.
So actually, I don't even know if a Big Ten West team has even won. It's been the Big Ten East that has been the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That has been the highest ranked teams. Ohio State, obviously, always on top. Penn State has won one.
Yeah.
Michigan State has won one. And then there's Michigan all the way at the bottom.
They've been getting better.
Just hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, let's just get this out of the way. I am a Harbaugh fan because not a lot of people
Me too.
remember what it was like before him.
Rich Rod or whatever his name
And
was.
Brady Hoke. It was awful. People don't realize that in his 7 years, he's won 10 games now 4 times.
And I guess Ohio State's been blessed with good head coaches. I mean, you had
absolutely.
Tressel and then Luke Fickell, who's now at Cincinnati, is the head coach.
Doing just fine.
Yeah, and then you had Urban Meyer, and, well, Ryan Day's doing pretty well, too.
I've never been so mad in my life when Urban Meyer came to Ohio State because I knew what it meant.
Pumped.
I knew what it meant.
And look,
It meant titles. That's
Yeah.
exactly what it meant.
Yep.
If one, he should still be here, but we ain't gonna get into that right now. But then you get a Urban Meyer descendant coming, and people in 2018 when they played him, it's Ryan Day's first year. I was not confident at all.
I didn't know. Well, so he did coach the one game against TCU, but TCU isn't great, and I mean they were ranked at the time, but that team is very good. They're more talented than TCU was and everything. But ever since, I mean, Ryan Day has just been murdering teams. I mean, he lost to Clemson, lost to Alabama, which the Alabama team was just ridiculous.
That's fine.
But,
That's a generational team.
Yeah, and I mean, you have little losses here, and he's lost 3 games. So what? Clemson, Alabama,
Oregon.
I think he hasn't lost a game in the Big Ten. I don't think.
Wow, is that true?
I don't.
Bill, is that true?
What?
Has Ryan Day lost a game in the Big Ten?
He's been there what? Unless they didn't have, because Urban was there during the Purdue loss.
Oh my God, is that an actual thing?
I don't think he's won 2 Big Ten championships. This will be his 3rd.
Oh my God. That brought my hopes. Like from here.
Last year?
Like it's like,
Yeah.
what
No,
happened?
because they got in the playoff and they beat Clemson.
They didn't lose in the conference last year at all.
I don't.
Dude, that brought
Going
my.
into 2020, he was 10-0 in conference.
I don't think they lost last year.
I don't think they did either.
Dude, either way, that brought my hopes from like 50-50 to maybe like 40-60 they're going to lose
Yeah,
to like 20-80.
Which he's also pissed that they skipped last year because of COVID or whatever.
They honestly, Michigan probably could have played, but they had like McNamara had COVID.
Yeah.
The starter at the time. Well, he's a starter now, but
Yeah.
the starter at the time, Haskins had COVID.
Yeah, and
Literally the only starting
But
running
the
back they had at the time.
He's 33-3.
Oregon, Alabama, Clemson.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
He's never lost a Big Ten game.
No.
You
There's
know,
been
you know what's going to
games.
happen Saturday?
He's going to win another one.
Probably.
I mean, there's been close calls here and there, but he puts away teams.
Oh no,
usually.
he's money time.
No.
All right, enough of the past. We're done talking about the past. We're trying to get into right now. Both teams 10-1.
Yep.
Obviously similar schedule.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they both played a Pac-12 team in the I call it preseason.
Yeah.
Anything before the Big Ten schedule is preseason to me.
That's
They played obviously the better team in Oregon.
Yeah.
Obviously.
I still think they should have beat him, but Stroud has gotten better. He had an AC joint injury in the beginning of the year, but
Sat out against Akron the next week.
yeah, but it's a winnable game, I think. And I mean, they lose. They've gotten better ever since. So this team now beats Oregon, I think. It comes down
By
to
2
it.
scores.
Well,
10,
played, like
10,
last week, yeah.
10 to 14.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
Oregon's still a good team. I'm not saying they're
Yeah.
not.
Oh, yeah, very
They
good.
ran into a buzzsaw last week with
they don't have
Utah, but I mean that happens. It happens to
And
people.
they don't have their best offensive player in Verdell.
That does hurt a lot.
Yeah.
That hurts a lot. I think if they have Verdell, they're still in.
Yeah.
We're not going to get into Oregon, though. This is about Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan plays Washington, who at the time is ranked highly.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, it's not their fault that they turned out to be,
Awful. Yeah.
terrible. Awful's not even the word. Terrible.
Yeah.
But at the time, it looked like a good matchup.
I mean, that's the thing with strength of schedule in the beginning of the year.
Yes, it's tough.
And scheduling games, it's like 4 years out or something like that.
Not to get completely off track, just talking about Notre Dame, it's not their fault the ACC's trash. But they need to stop scheduling the ACC.
Yeah, and they also need to join a conference in this day and age.
Yeah, we're not going to get Notre Dame because they make
Yeah.
me so mad.
Yeah.
They go ahead and duck big teams. But anyway, I'll probably cut that out because I don't want to talk about Notre Dame.
No.
They piss me off.
It's bad.
Talking about the game this year, we're going to go offense versus defense. Okay, both teams. You okay with that?
Yeah.
What do you want to start off? You want to start Ohio State offense or Michigan offense first?
We'll talk about Michigan's first because I know Quorum's a big part of it.
Huge.
I know
He's the question mark, though,
Yep, I know losing
He's a
Ronnie
question
Bell
mark.
is ginormous for him.
all year.
But I think Michigan, from what I've seen, is definitely it's kind of similar in Michigan State that they need to establish the run early so they can open up the pass game.
Have to. That's what Harbaugh has been known for in Stanford and San Francisco 49ers and now Michigan.
Because the biggest thing Michigan can do is get behind like Michigan State did this weekend, because then you are totally off track and then you're just playing catch up.
They didn't even have enough time to use Kenneth Walker.
Because they, 2-3 possessions in, you're already down 21-0.
Quick.
Yeah.
Quick.
And Kenneth Walker is supposed to take over games because he's a Heisman favorite.
The thing I'm worried about is that Michigan gets down 10 and they start throwing the ball 3 times in a row.
Which
that's not them. Just don't get antsy. Do your thing. Don't panic.
Mm-hmm.
You still have a good defense. Do your thing. We'll start talking about that right now. So Michigan's offense, okay? Obviously, we know that Cade McNamara is way down in passing yards, okay? He has 2,600 whatever passing yards.
Which I think he's got to be able to push the ball down the field this weekend.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But people act like he's actually a bad quarterback.
No.
Is he a game manager? Absolutely. But his 14 touchdowns to 2 picks, I'll take that race. I'll take that 7-to-1 ratio every day.
He's definitely missed some wide open downfield
Oh, for
throws.
sure. He's safe.
Which
he takes the check down maybe a little too early.
I don't know if that wins him a game this weekend.
True, but 3 of those running backs, Edwards, Corum, and Haskins all have 150 receiving yards or more.
Yeah, but I think Ohio State's more athletically talented than most of the teams they face.
I'm not a
defense.
big fan of their defense.
So I think their corners are weak.
I agree.
Their run defense have got
to what they have been known for.
Burke's been great. As
they're very
freshman.
young. They're very young.
They're young.
Yes,
their safeties are weak. Their safety corps is very weak. And they play that bullet, which is that hybrid safety linebacker, which Hickman's a freak athlete. I mean, he's obviously not as fast as Corum and everything, but I think he can play well with Haskins. I think Corum's got to be.
Yeah, but that's a big question mark, though. So just to put some stats out there, Corum was at 791 rushing yards 2 games ago.
Mm-hmm.
Haskins was behind him in rushing yards. Now Haskins is over 1,000.
Yep.
Corum, if he's healthy, this game and then the bowl game, if they lose, you would sure assume he's going to go over 1,000 yards.
He'll be 1,000, yeah.
So they're going to have 2,000 yard rushers. Their O line is their strongest part of their game, and I can even back that up in the pass game.
Yep.
They've only gotten sacked 0.8 times per game. Yeah, I'll say that 0.8 times per game. And you know what the funny thing is? In the last 2 games, they've gotten sacked 3 times. So without those last 2 games, that's they might be leading the country in not being sacked. Put it that way.
I mean, Ohio State's got good talent edge rushers, edge rushers, but Harrison and Tyreek Smith or whoever they put at the edge are inconsistent. The best person...
Harrison's such a freak, though.
Yeah.
We've talked about that recruiting. Anyway.
But Haskell Garrett, depending on how he plays, he's very disruptive.
You know who gets sacks? Their linebackers get sacks.
Yeah.
They come up with some good... ever since week 3, that has made a huge difference.
They switched D coordinators after week 3 from Kerry Coombs to... I don't know who it is now, but they've been a lot more aggressive, not playing that soft zone anymore. They're actually mixing up blitzes in between. But, again, that gets them in trouble, though, because they're not super talented on the back end with their safeties and corners.
We'll say again, they're all 4 and 5 stars. They're just really young.
They're
just really young.
Inexperienced. And their best one is a true freshman.
I think it all... Well, for Michigan.
Yeah.
Offensively, I think it all comes down to Blake Corum. If he is even 85%. Yeah, but that's one-dimensional. That is downhill, in your face. I'm coming straight at you.
So do you think...
Because he's still... Sorry to cut you off.
Well, no.
He is still only... I say only. For college, this is pretty good. As a power back, he's averaging 4.5 yards a carry. That's not anything spectacular.
So do you
it's
think,
just he's really tough. Corum is averaging 6 yards a carry.
Do you think Corum or Walker's a bigger part of their offense?
Walker.
Okay. Because that's why.
What are you talking about, Walker?
Well, because
who's Walker?
Kenneth Walker.
Oh, you're talking about Michigan State.
Yeah, because.
That offense, Walker, 100%.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
If Michigan can't run the ball for some reason, are they going to be able to pass the ball?
Well, okay. I came prepared.
Yeah.
So, their pass game people hate on, correct?
Yeah.
Right. Obviously. You've heard me before. Zach watches the games with me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, compared to, you get Alabama and them.
Right. But where are their rushing stats? In the trash,
which
technically,
well,
maybe one person, but rushing stats as a whole, not the best. Okay, they're second in the Big Ten. Second, okay, in the country. I wrote it down. Where the hell is it?
9. No, that's the total offense.
They're 13th in the country. Nowadays, that's pretty damn good.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people pass, blah, 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 blah. Okay? They have Corum and Haskins. If Corum didn't get hurt, they'd both be 1,000-yard rushers. Is that true?
Yes.
They have a 5-star freshman waiting in Donovan Edwards.
Which he was well in the pass game this past
He's versatile. He was more of an all-purpose back. He wasn't necessarily a running back. They have a good O-line. Correct?
Yep.
So are they not going to protect Cade McNamara at least?
I'm
not saying he's versatile because he's not. He can't really get outside the pocket, but they can protect him. It's been proven against good pass rushers. He's a 65% clip passing the ball,
which
we've talked about. Yeah. He's a 7 touchdown to 1 interception guy that we've talked about. Pretty good. He gets sacked 0.8 times a game. Pretty good. Mm-hmm. Granted, this will be a new challenge. 100% will admit that. But people hate on these receivers. They don't pass a lot.
Now, is that...
This is where my... Hold on. This is where my stats come in. Let me see here. 3 wide receivers are over 14 yards per catch. And that's Roman Wilson. You know he's a straight burner. Mm-hmm. Little 14, fast guy. Yep. Cornelius Johnson, he is their best receiver.
Is that the freshman or no?
No, he's number 6.
Okay, yeah.
The junior.
Yep.
He's athletic. He's tall.
Yeah.
He's definitely versatile down the field. And then, shockingly, Eric All, the tight end.
Which, see, that's the thing with... So
I'll give you this, he's not a blocker.
If Corum... I don't know where they're going to put that bullet for Ohio State. If they're going to put it on the tight end...
I would assume.
Or
just knowing them, just knowing Ohio State, I would sure assume they would put him on there.
Simon or Chambers or whoever they play at linebacker this week, are they going to put him on him and then put the bullet on the running back?
It all depends on Corum. I swear, it goes back to that question. Yeah. It all depends on Corum.
It really does.
See, if Corum doesn't play at all, I don't think this game's close. He is that dynamic. And he's only a sophomore.
Yeah.
He is that dynamic of an athlete. It's one of the best athlete recruits they've gotten in the past 10 years. I feel like he is that dynamic.
Yeah.
Obviously, besides Denard Robinson. obviously.
Yeah, well, he's pretty good.
Dude was a Big Ten Player of the Year.
Yeah.
But besides that, he is by far the best, Corum. I think he makes that big of a difference. People don't know he had 200 yards receiving coming into the Michigan State game where he got hurt.
He's a good back. He's electric. I mean,
he's electric
yeah.
when the ball's in his hands. We saw that in the Washington game. My goodness gracious, he had over 200 yards rushing and 70 yards receiving. He's electric. He's an electric player.
It's a high ankle sprain, right? That's what he's got.
It's not good for running back.
No.
That almost, yeah. It's
I mean, the good thing for Michigan though is they're deep at running back.
That's true.
So,
and people talk about these receiving stats, but man, losing wide receiver number 1 and Ronnie Bell week 1 really hurt.
And what was it? Donovan Edwards is the all-purpose guy.
He's the all-purpose guy.
Which
yes.
You might have his Chris Olave game. You never know.
Yeah,
that.
you never know.
Never know.
Yeah. I watched that today. I watched like 6 Ohio State Michigan games today.
His breakout game.
Number 17, Chris Olave.
Blocked punt.
Yeah, I was there.
For like a touch, or no, he had a blocked punt and 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess you never know. This is where stars are born.
Yep.
I will give you that.
Yep.
But I still think losing Ronnie Bell still really hurt.
Huge.
Granted, they've done a lot more in the receiving game than I thought they have. But maybe Cornelius Johnson doesn't come to what he is with him not getting hurt.
Yeah.
Because I really do like him.
I mean, I guess we'll figure it out Saturday.
You know what I'm really excited for? Ohio State is 43rd in total defense.
So their pass defense was really it's gotten better, but it was really their whole defense was really bad in the first. Their scheme was bad.
They are 94th in pass defense.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Out of 130.
It's gotten better, but what was it, against Purdue? So they got up early and they started playing the soft zone, which they would just run hitches and comebacks all the time and just give it up.
But even with that, you could say they're 70th. Even without that game. Because I agree with you. That game, that was garbage time for Purdue. But even that still doesn't... They're still 94th.
And that happens when Harrison and them don't get pressure, and you have those young guys in the back end that they give up big plays every now and then.
It's truly unfortunate because they're 10th in rushing yards per game. What does Michigan like to do?
Run the ball.
Run the ball.
Yep.
I mean, that's a hardball
thing,
which I love. Don't get me wrong. Mm-hmm. He's got 2 good running backs. He's got a thunder and a lightning. Power guy and an electric guy. But when you play against teams like this, it's different.
Which, if they can establish the run early, open up play action,
you got to try what you're good at.
Which that's what
and then see what happens.
Michigan State didn't even try to do that.
Didn't even try. See, I think that was their problem.
Yep.
I mean, we were watching the Ohio State-Michigan State game, and Kenneth Walker touched the ball 0 times on their first drive.
0 times.
0 times.
Like
1 time on the second drive.
Yeah, and then
2 times in a row.
Well, and then the next drive, the fumble or something like that happened.
With 24, whoever that running back is.
Yep.
And it was over.
Yep.
It was already 21-0. It was already over. So they need to at least try. I mean, you need to try to do what you're good at. Why abandon your identity now?
Exactly.
If you're going to abandon your identity, you go to J McCarthy and let him sling that ball. Hey, was that the first game you watched him last year? So what was your honest opinion of J McCarthy in his short time?
He's got a very good arm.
He has a cannon.
Yes.
He might want to play baseball.
Yeah, he can sling it, and he's quick. But I don't know why he didn't start to begin with. And I mean,
me and you both, brother. Maybe just not ready at the time. Next year's going to be interesting.
He's done very well in the short time he's got on the field.
That is correct. Well, many people can argue that he did lose the Michigan State game, though.
Did he have a
He fumbled twice.
Yeah.
Fumbled twice. But still, I mean, 18 years old.
Yeah, it's a big game for 18 years old. Unless you're playing for Wisconsin and they're handing you the ball 35 times a game.
That's true. All right. I want to be done talking about Michigan's offense. Because that's not what's going to win the game in the end. What's going to win the game, if Michigan wins, it's going to be because of their defense. Let me read this off to you real quick.
Yep.
I know you've already read my notes. Okay. They have star power. There's no denying that. They have probably 3 first-round draft picks on defense.
Was it Enns and was it Hill?
It's Dax Hill, the safety.
Yep.
And then it's Aiden Hutchinson and David Ojabo. And they both have 10 sacks.
Yep.
But Dax Hill is that big of a freak that he can play up or down.
Now, is he a strong safety? He plays in the box, too?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. They have that.
Yep.
Okay. Arguably, because I know you'll probably disagree, they have the best edge rushers in all of college football. It's hard to deny that. They both have a chance of breaking the Big 12 records in sacks.
I don't.
Granted, after last week, probably not, but they both had a chance.
Yeah, I don't know much about Ojabo. I know Hutchinson.
He has 10. That's all you need to know.
I know Hutchinson. I've heard his name over the years.
Freak.
He's had a sack or two, but it's been kind of like a no contest at that point when Ohio State's starting to get up big type of thing.
Oh, for the Ohio State game. Okay.
Yeah, because I
can't
know much about
I can't deny you that.
Yep.
They're 8th in pass defense.
Which is because of probably those two creating a lot of trouble.
And Dax Hill in the slot.
Yeah.
So where do they go when they panic? They throw short. Dax Hill's there. So I'm not too keen on the corners. Granted, I think DJ Turner, the freshman cornerback, is something to watch out for in the future.
Yep.
He was a high 4-star.
Yeah. But
which, just with pass rush, it's only going to help even more.
Yeah.
So don't worry. You're going to have an hour to talk about Ohio State's offense. I'm just going to go ahead and talk about the defense quick. 25th in rush D, which I don't like. I think that's their weakness is the D tackles. I like Hinton. I like Chris Hinton. But next to him, I don't. There's nobody. There's a lot of rotating guys.
And that's what the interior for Ohio State's, the guards and center have been rotating.
Right.
So their starting center last year and beginning of this year, he's out for the season, Harry Miller.
Right.
So they went to Luke Weipler, who's like a 4 or 5 star at this point. I don't remember what he was.
Something like that.
But I know they've had a lot of trouble on the interior of their line. They keep rotating guys. Parrish Johnson Jr. is a tackle that they've moved down because he's just too talented not to play. But the thing that I'm curious to see is how Hutchinson, Ojabo, Munford, and Petit Frere both probably going to be playing on Sunday at some point.
Oh, for sure.
So
for sure.
I think this will be the best tackles they face, at least so far this year.
100%. No doubt about it.
I mean, I think Hutchinson will probably be more disruptive than Ojabo.
I was just going to say that. I think this is where, or at least, because, the best tackle is going to take, obviously, Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah. Obviously. This is the game that I think Ojabo goes, whoa.
Yeah, and I think if they can make it so Ohio State can't run laterally with Henderson, I think that'll be a big thing because you got to rely on those guards and center who haven't been consistent throughout the year to kind of get that push that, it's been there, but it's definitely not as good as what the tackles can do.
Yes. And this is where I have to credit Mike McDonald, the Michigan's D coordinator. He has done a phenomenal job.
No more cover 0.
Thank God. I do love Don Brown, but he was very hard-headed. UMass head coach. Good for him. UMass. Good for him. That's awesome. But Mike McDonald was in the NFL on a different level. Thank God for John Harbaugh pushing him to the gym.
Which
he's brought them to a new level. You can't say it because Aiden Hutchinson was probably going to be a second round to first round pick anyway.
Yeah, and
he made Ojabo a first round pick. No, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah, and how are the Michigan linebackers? I don't know how
they have one Big Ten. He was a second team Big Ten linebacker last year.
Is he athletic or is he just more like?
It's Josh Ross. He's probably going to be a first team Big Ten linebacker this year because he is first in linebackers and tackles, and that's the only thing that matters for middle linebackers. Anyway, they have a high 4-star Junior Colson freshman who is next to him because they play a lot of nickel.
Yeah,
they play a lot of nickel,
which they're going to have to this weekend.
They're going to have to because Junior Colson's a true freshman. He's been coming on of late. He will probably make a freshman All-American team. One, because he's played every game. That's usually how you kind of judge it for freshman All-American teams. But second, he's actually done really well.
Yeah.
He's second in the team in tackles. He has a couple forced fumbles and fumble recoveries. He just always seems to be around the ball. I'm not saying he won't be wowed by this game, but he's a dude to look out for.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's young. I mean, that's what Ohio State.
He reminds me of a little bit slower Devin Bush.
Okay.
But his instincts are still there.
And
they
Bush
are
was
there.
an absolute stud in college.
Yeah, I know.
And he's
You
still
can't
very
deny
good
that.
in
Devin
the
Bush
NFL.
was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. But, I mean, I think Ohio State's offense, so it could go either one of two ways. So, if Stroud plays like he did in the beginning of the year, they need to do what they did against Penn State and rely on Henderson in the run game.
So we need to talk about him.
Stroud or Henderson?
So, can you give me your honest opinion on Stroud? Hold on. You've been blessed.
Oh, yeah.
JT Barrett, not a passer.
But kind of like Mac.
Dude, just a dude. When it comes down to it, just a dude. He knew how to. He's a winner.
Yep.
Obviously not an NFL guy, but he was a winner.
Yeah.
Winner. He reminds me a lot of Tim Tebow, like when Urban Meyer had at Florida.
Literally.
Not an NFL guy, winner. You have Dwayne Haskins, just
talented.
pure talent.
Just a headache in the
Pure
NFL.
talent. Saw him as a true freshman at Michigan.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yep.
Justin Fields, obviously, everyone knew he was going to be a superstar.
Yep.
And now you have CJ. So where do you rank him in those rankings?
Well, I mean,
you have 4 to pick from. So where do you put him on that rankings?
as of right now,
You have to.
it's been such a small sample size, so I'll have to put him towards the bottom, really. Because, I mean, Justin Fields also, he lost 2 games. Clemson in the playoffs, Alabama,
Right.
which is Alabama that last year.
Whatever.
And JT, as you said, 1 games. I mean, Dwayne, I put him probably above Haskins. Because Haskins had that hiccup against Purdue that was...
So Haskins at the bottom, CJ, JT, Fields. Is that true or no? I'm not talking from talent. I'm talking about from what you've seen.
JT and Fields are probably interchangeable because JT did pretty much get him to that playoff the year that Jones won them.
Right.
He just got hurt.
Right.
Which I don't know if they won the playoff with or without him. I mean, Zeke also did Zeke.
Yeah, that does help, having Zeke.
But,
shout out 15.
Yeah. But I'd probably put him 3rd. Because Haskins did have the hiccup that didn't get him to the playoff.
Granted, I will say redshirt freshman. Mm-hmm. Technically a junior school-wise. He's been there. It's not like he hasn't been there. But...
Well, yeah. Is he even that?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I checked it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I checked my stats.
Because COVID and everything.
It's wild.
Yeah. But
I worry about him with pressure on him. See, that's the only thing I think Michigan can do to win. If they get pressure on C.J. Stroud. That's the only thing they can do to win. If they don't get pressure, with their 3 receivers, Wilson, Fleming, Olave, Najigba Smith.
Smith
Najigba.
Yeah.
People forget Marvin Harrison Jr. sitting there as a 5th receiver.
And
like
Amika,
that receiving group is the
yeah.
best receiving group I've ever seen assembled. Like it's wild.
It's very deep. So Stroud, so if Michigan just doesn't spy Stroud, which they have no reason to at the moment.
They have no reason. He does not run. He does not run.
He needs to run.
That's the only thing I've ever seen Michigan struggle with.
So
put it this way. They played Penn State.
Yep.
So if Sean Clifford doesn't rush for 80 yards that game is not even close.
Yeah. And that's the one thing Stroud says he's not going to do.
Which is wild.
And he's not
he's not slow.
He's not a fast guy, but he can. I think he's about as fast as Clifford.
See, that's what I'm worried about for you.
Yeah.
If he doesn't scramble, they're in trouble, I feel like. Defensively, offensively.
Yeah.
Combined Michigan, Ohio State.
Yeah.
I think they could have. So what did Michigan do to Peyton Thorne? Shut him down.
Yeah. And I just think, I don't know, but they're so talented at every skill position on that offense.
I agree.
If Henderson can just have a game too, because that's what they did against Penn State.
I think he's the secret weapon.
Because if you don't,
we watch college football. To the people who don't watch college football, this 18-year-old who, to them, barely has 1,000 yards, is one of the most electric running backs in the country that they don't know about.
I think his biggest, the largest amount of carries he had was against Penn State. He had 25, but he rushed for 157 and 2 touchdowns.
See, that's also the thing that people don't know is that when they lost to Oregon, they didn't know what he was yet.
Yeah, because Williams and Teague and
they were
rotating
splitting
backs.
What do you have? 12 carries that game, maybe?
I don't even know. know. If
Not
he
even
had
12
that.
carries, 12 touches.
Yeah, because he was used more in the pass game. Because
Right.
that first game against Minnesota, the reason why he started getting more touches because he had that first pass for like that 40 or 50 yard
Something like
touchdown.
that, yeah.
And ever since he's been getting more and more, and he's legit. He's a dude.
Oh, he's a dude. He's a 5-star for a reason.
Yeah,
He's a 5-star for a reason.
and so if Stroud struggles like he did in the beginning of the year, which
Almost caught it.
I don't think he will. He just needs to make the open passes, which he has plenty of room because the wideouts for Ohio State are just
Unreal. Best receiving core in the country.
you
There's
can
no
put your
denying.
best guy on any of them,
Absolutely.
and it doesn't really matter.
I agree.
Because Wilson or Njigba or any of them are going to get open. 'Cause I think Olave is the only one that doesn't have 1,000 yards receiving.
Which is, people say is their best receiver. I don't agree, but people may say he's the best receiver.
I think Wilson and him are good in their own ways. I mean, Olave is just so smooth.
He's like an Edelman for Tom Brady. Won't have the top receiving yards, but man, is he reliable.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't drop many passes.
No, if any.
He always will give you a shot at catching the ball. He's actually bigger than I thought he was. I didn't realize he
He's
was
like 6
6'1".
foot. Yeah, I'm about to say, he's like 6
I
foot.
didn't realize he was that tall.
Well, you might not know him, but I know him very well. He has his best games against Michigan for some reason.
So, depending on how the interior of the O-line plays, I think, and how Stroud throws the ball, he just needs to make the open passes. If
Right.
not, luckily they have Henderson to rely on.
Yes.
But that's the one thing they struggle with is depth at the running back position. Because mine, Williams, he's okay.
I don't like him. I don't like him or Teague.
Hate Teague. I don't hate Teague, but he just doesn't bring to the table what the other two do.
Right. All right, bud. We're going to go down the position groups. You have to give your honest answer, and obviously I am too. We're going to go from there, then we're going to get our final scores, and we're going to get out of here.
Yep.
So I tried to promise a quick video, but this is impossible to do a quick video.
Well, it's
it's
the game.
impossible. It's the game, as we were talking about. Okay. We're not going to go through quarterback, because obviously we know who wins.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about running back group.
I think Michigan has a deeper one. I think Ohio State has possibly the bigger upside with Henderson, depending
Agreed.
on how
I agree.
he plays. But
Depends on Corum
but
and whatever the health
I
is. But
think
keep going.
Haskins is more reliable than Williams, and you could throw anyone. Master Teague probably wouldn't be as well. He's just been hurt.
I think the
and all that.
5-star Donovan Edwards freshman is better than
I think Michigan, at the end of the day, with what we know so far, well, and then you never know with Corum, but through their portfolio and throughout the year, I think Michigan has the more solid room.
Obviously, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not even going to touch receivers.
Ohio State.
Yeah, well, I agree. I do think Michigan's group is underrated, but it's not even close when it comes to talent-wise.
I think Olave will have 1,000 yards, and that'll be 3 for
Right.
Ohio State for receivers.
So we're not going to touch that. O-line, I'm saying Michigan, man. I'm only going off stats, though.
I think Ohio State's tackles are better, but there's just too much going on in the interior right now with the rotating players. And
So O-line right now, who's better? Is this the first one we disagree on? Because I think Michigan's better.
Ohio State's pretty damn good.
So are they better or not? You need to choose. You need to stop being nice for once.
I might have to give it to...
Who is it? Who's better?
I mean, I got to stick with Ohio State at the end of it.
So this is the first one we disagree on. So the O-line.
Because they played
They're
well
both
last
they're
week.
both ranked very highly in sacks allowed.
Yeah.
They're both in the top 10 in sacks allowed. Put it that way.
And they played well last week.
And they both can run the ball.
Yep.
So put it that way. So
Yep.
this is the one I thought we would disagree on.
Yeah.
Okay. D-line. Maybe when it comes to stars and recruiting, it might be Ohio State, but production, I don't think you can argue.
Have been more productive.
Their edge rushers are ridiculous.
I think Haskell Garrett's a better interior guy, but your edge rushers have definitely been more
We don't
productive.
have, Michigan don't have that second interior guy.
Yeah.
That's the thing. They have Hinton. He's good.
Which, I mean, Ohio State, 5-star guys just rotating through.
Right.
I think Teron Cage has been kind of in there. I think your edge rushers definitely are better.
So D-line total, where do you go?
I mean, Ohio State passes the ball, so I think Michigan's more disruptive.
Okay. I think Michigan as well. Linebackers, this is way more hard.
Because
This is difficult decision.
Ohio State's real young at it.
Right. Well, Michigan has Josh Ross Sr. Then they have Colson freshman, and then Nikhil Hill Green. Technically, a freshman, but sophomore with COVID. So they're young there as well. So this one is more difficult for me.
Ohio State's got like Cody Simon, which I don't even know. I think he's like a sophomore,
Right.
junior. I don't know. Eichenberg, who's a freshman, sophomore,
Right.
and Steele Chambers, who's a running back.
Right.
I think
It's tough, but to be honest, I would actually go Ohio State here because they contribute to the pass rush, where Michigan relies pretty heavily on the edge rush.
Chambers has gotten a lot better throughout the year.
Right, and I will say this: Michigan linebackers help in the run game. I have not seen them help in the pass game. They have 0 picks. Put it with this 3.
Yeah, which Ohio State's gonna throw.
So this way, I would go Ohio State in the linebacker position.
Yeah, I think
Not by much, but I would.
No, yeah, I think they might squeak it out. They're athletes back there.
Right. No, I agree. Secondary,
I gotta give it to Michigan.
I would give it to Michigan too.
Mostly
because of Dax Hill.
And Ohio State struggled a lot with the pass game.
Right. As we said, 93rd, 94th in pass defense?
I think
so just to put it this way, Michigan in pass defense, granted, helped by the D-line.
Yeah.
Obviously. Pass defense, they're 8th in the country. They have a talented redshirt freshman in DJ Turner.
Yep.
Granted, he would be sophomore with COVID, so it's not like he's really, really young.
Yep.
He's very talented. Vince Gray, great tackler, not great in coverage. They're really missing Jemin Green, though. He's been hurt for 2 weeks now. He's not coming for this Ohio State game. It's that bad. So if they're going to pick on somebody, it's actually going to be the older guy in Vince Gray.
But you never know. He's used to this game. So
That's true. He has been here his whole career. This is probably his last year, I would imagine, just because he's, you ain't going to play 6, I would sure imagine. So I'm still picking Michigan in secondary.
But
that's the spot I would pick that's trouble.
Which you got to hope Hutchinson and Mojabo can.
They got to get pressure.
Yeah, because
I don't think they'll be able to. It will.
If Stroud's got a clean pocket, it's going to be a very long game.
Yes. I agree. It's going to be a very long game.
No matter how many passes he might overthrow.
All right, bud. Final prediction. First, who wins, and then give me a score.
So since it's going to be cold, I'm going to go Ohio State 34-24.
Not bad. Not bad. See, this is why I like you. You're a realistic Ohio State fan. They would have said 87-0.
Well, I want to say 100-0, but
so final 34-24.
I think so.
I think this is the year, man. I think this is the year. One, they've never had a team this good.
Yeah.
You could say 2016, but Cade McNamara is better than Wilton Spate. I don't think there's any denying that.
Spate's terrible.
Oh, God, dude, don't even get me started. If that team had a quarterback...
I'm so glad that they've never had a quarterback, which I don't even consider...
Hey, it's JJ.
Yeah.
We'll get into it's not the time or place.
I don't really consider Mac... I think he's like another one of those, run him serviceable
Spate
college...
had 3 picks in that game.
Yeah, serviceable college quarterback. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm. I think they win this game. I think it's 31-28 Michigan. And I think it's not because they outscored them. I think it's because they play just good enough defense. And one, I think they get their run game going. Because stats say they're going to be able to pass decently enough. And Cade has proved that he can throw well enough.
Yep.
I think they get their run game going. And I think they win 21-28. Granted, I think...
31-28?
What did I say?
21-28. Yeah, 31.
Yeah. They win 31-28. I think it's because their run game actually gets going. I think Haskins has a career game. Just bullying people.
I guess we'll find out. I just don't see the run game taking over, but I guess we'll find out.
I mean, a boy's gotta have dreams,
yeah, I
don't
guess
he?
so, yeah. I mean, I think if anything, it's going to be the pass game.
Dude, put it this way. If I'm a betting man, I'm not stupid.
Yeah.
I'm taking Ohio State. But either way, Zach,
know.
thanks for coming on the channel, my friend. We'll have to do this again next year, man. That was fun.
Yeah,
that was a quick way to take up a lot of time.
Yep, 40 minutes.
We could talk about this all day. We had to cut each other off a couple times, but we could talk about this all day. We're going. We're gonna get some video out there to you. I'm trying to get some tailgate stuff out there.
Yeah.
You know what I want you to do? I want you to go around and come up with the most basic Ohio State questions and actually ask them and see what they know. Because that's what I'm going to do to Ohio
What's
State
our
fans.
mascot?
That's what I'm going to do to... Will they know?
I hope so.
They'll say Brutus.
Yeah. Well,
God, if they don't say Brutus, they have a
If
problem.
they're from Ohio, they'll know.
God, I hope so.
Their state nut is the Buckeye.
I hope so.
Yeah.
We'll see. Because I'm going to do the same thing to Michigan fans. The goal is I'm going to call out some Michigan fans and see if they're actually true Michigan fans. And I'll find you. I promise. All right, bud. I appreciate it again. We are the Tailgate Boys. If you like this, if you can't wait to see the game, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are the Tailgate Boys.
Peace.
Peace.